Good afternoon to everybody here in the ONUG community. I'm Chris Wade, CTO of Itential. Itential is a software company focused on providing automation across both network and cloud infrastructure. I'm super excited today sharing the stage with one of our longtime customers and partners, Lumen. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Richard Batelaan, EVP of North American Operations at Lumen. Welcome, Richard.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody.
So Richard, to start off, can you share a little bit on the history of Lumen and the drivers behind the transformation you guys have been going on?
All right. Well, thanks, Chris. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to join you today and the opportunity for Lumen to be part of this ONUG event. I mean, this concept of having events and forums via video conference is becoming the new norm, and it does seem like there's some light at the end of the tunnel where we can get back to in-person events and allow more personal networking and sharing of information. And I look forward to that. But for now, we can do our part and stay safe and leverage technology to its greatest extent. So I'll talk a little bit about Lumen. Lumen was born about a year ago, September 15th, 2020. And I actually want to start a little bit before then, because you recall 2020 is a pretty interesting time for the world. As an organization, we found ourselves in the middle of a global pandemic, asking ourselves, what's our purpose? And what can we do to help people? What can we do to help our customers? And our mission and our purpose really became clear very quickly. We found ourselves helping customers like the USS Mercy naval ship that was turned into a field hospital. We are connecting schools, hospitals, helping enterprises migrate to work from home, and helping children go to school remotely, and helping bring some semblance of normalcy. And so our purpose became clear, and that was furthering human progress through technology. At that point, Lumen was born out of this desire to help our customers with their application and data needs. And we wanted to use our significant worldwide fiber network and our cloud and edge investments and our security and application services to really help enterprises innovate and transform. And it's been a fun adventure. It's been exciting. And we really focus on two elements. One is building the world's fastest, most secure platform for data and apps. And second, delivering customer-first experiences. We want to make it very easy to work with us. And this whole concept of the world's fastest and most secure platform is all about pulling together our capabilities of networking, security, edge cloud, voice, and unified communications into a single platform. And that's the Lumen platform. So as leader of the company's operations unit, I really can't succeed on our goals, which is really to make our customers happy and really streamline and automate our processes. And for me, that's our number one goal, which is to make our team members happy and our customers even happier.
Awesome. So tell me what it means. Tell me a little bit more about what it means to be a platform company, because I've heard that a number of times.
Yeah, that's good. A platform company has to have some foundational capability, and then it enables innovation and agility and experiences on top of that capability. So we had an advantage of starting with one of the largest, most interconnected fiber networks in the world, along with compute storage and co-location assets across the globe. That was our foundation. But to become a platform company, we need to create these capabilities to make it easy and safe for our customers to consume our services, as well as allowing our customers to innovate and become data-driven. And in today's world, it's all about accelerating the cycle of acquiring, analyzing, and acting on data. So that's what a platform company is all about for Lumen.
Great. So can you help me, just so people can attach themselves to what platform means? What are like the main components of this platform?
Yeah. So we started with really 4 key ingredients and to leverage our network and co-location assets. First was software-defined networks. Second, hybrid cloud diversity, managed orchestration, and integrated security. Those are the 4 components. And as we layer those components between our foundational assets and the applications to provide this platform, to really make it simple for customers to leverage our platform, it's, this is how we're delivering high performance security and a worldwide solution that places the right application at the right place using digital first methods. The ability to really natively combine these critical components is what Lumen is all about. And that's how we deliver our capabilities over this next generation platform.
So massive undertaking. So when you think about building the platform, what are some of the criteria? Like how do you think about going about building such platform?
Yeah, well, I had some very important things that I wanted to be baked into our platform. And first is user-generated content. So if you think of the most successful social companies like Twitter and Facebook, they have great platforms that leverage user-generated content. And this is critical as we scale, because think about it, we're installing customers with 4,000 up to 10,000 locations. And so we really needed a mechanism for user-generated content to collect information like local context, gathering technical details, and minimum data sets. Secondly, we wanted automation and orchestration to occur within the business to create more speed and agility. While we want IT to provide the APIs and platform capabilities, the business then configures the automated workflows to create great customer experiences. And then the last thing that was most important to us was creating this self-service environment, what we call the digital experience. So we wanted to start with internal tools that we're using to improve our employee experience, but then turning and exposing those outwardly to our customers for self-service consumption. So that platform approach really empowers not only our employees, but also our customers to be more agile and innovative. And it helps redefine old processes in favor of new automated ones. So it's really about creating this culture of innovation. And our customers are seeking more help, more communication, having the ability to view the status of a dispatch or predictive analytics on a potential card failure. Our employees are wanting to have streamlined system orchestration, network visualization, proactive alarming. So now we can provide all of this. And the catalyst for many of these transformative solutions comes with our partnership with Itential.
So when I think about the enterprises that are at ONUG, a lot of times we talk about digital transformation, adoption of the cloud. We think about kind of the automation journeys that those customers are going on. So, with this platform approach and with what you're offering those enterprises, how can they think of taking advantage of that? How can you offer, advantage to those enterprises that are taking kind of an aggressive automation first approach?
Right. That's right. That's what it's all about. Enterprises are going through the same digital transformation that we've been going through for the past couple of years, and they're deploying latency sensitive applications that are very data intensive as they acquire, analyze, and act on data. So what we've exposed here is the ability for these enterprises to accelerate their transformation through the use of our cloud orchestration capabilities, giving them the ability to leverage hybrid cloud resources, dynamic connections, simple digital experiences to achieve their business goals with minimal friction. But interestingly, the global pandemic has accelerated our transformation. So as the enterprises rushed to work from home, they had to accelerate plans to leverage cloud and productivity enhancing applications. So we received thousands of bandwidth upgrade requests as centralized apps were being pounded by remote users. So that really helped accelerate our transformation efforts, as we use that influx of activity to accelerate our change order transformation to allow self-service requests for an automated fulfillment of bandwidth upgrades. And that was the biggest thing we saw. So it was incredible how the pandemic really accelerated transformation on both the customer side and our side.
Because when I think about other automation discussions we've had, other keynotes, et cetera, we're talking about how how can we automate, cloud? How can we automate our network infrastructure as enterprises? And then when we talk to our service provider partners like yourself, it's how do we automate the services that we're delivering in as a service capacity. I really see kind of these two independent automation value creation happening. How do we connect those things? How do we create kind of an end-to-end automation? You're talking a lot about bandwidth on demand. How do customers kind of reach across the aisle as they partner with Lumen to kind of connect their internal automation efforts with partner automation efforts? How do you see that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you think about the carriers and the enterprises, we're trying to achieve the same goals: better customer experiences at a lower cost and accelerating our pace of innovation. So enterprises and carriers are connecting via APIs as the first step. So basics like inventory, performance management, change request, alarming, ticketing. These are table stakes. So we've created our API marketplace for this type of peer-to-peer connectivity. And this makes us partners with enterprises. You heard me talk about the platform. Not only does our platform need to integrate the disparate backend systems, but also seeing this consumption of those services and the request of our sales and support teams being increasingly machine and code driven. So the best way to really solve these challenges is through the delivery of our APIs. But ultimately, where we want to go is machine to machine interactions between Lumen and our enterprise customers. And it's a good experience for a customer-driven change to go through a digital experience, but it's even better when these adjustments are made in real time based on dynamic changes in the environment on a machine-to-machine basis.
What kind of requests do you see from enterprises? Like what are some examples of these types of changes? Like you use the bandwidth on demand example. What are some of the other, what's the art of possible as far as how people can dynamically request, whether it's today maybe less machine to machine and in the future machine to machine? What kind of things could your customers request of the network on demand?
So things like rerouting traffic, policy changes, bandwidth on demand is a good one. So as we think about sporting events, breaking news, demand generation campaigns, traffic patterns can change very quickly. And having this dynamic cloud and networking infrastructure that can adapt in real time is huge. And this is where the machine-to-machine interactions that dynamically adjust bandwidth, CPU, storage, policies, traffic patterns would be tremendous.
So we've talked a lot about the network stuff, but we, as part of the platform, we also talk a lot about edge compute. So moving from just network connectivity type of services, but what is also possible when we add compute. So can you elaborate a little bit on some of the edge compute efforts?
Yeah, definitely. Our edge compute platform is going really well. Sales and the funnel are strong. We're working through the supply chain chip shortages to stay ahead of demand. That's not easy. But our edge success is really predicated on zero-touch automation, being available and dependable in our automated delivery of edge services. So we really have three components in our Lumen Edge go-to-market strategy. First is network as a service, which we've built on top of the Itential platform. Bare metal as a service, and then virtual machine orchestration. So when you look at our edge service or edge compute services, I'd highlight a few capabilities that really provide some strategic differentiation. One would be dynamic connections. So our dynamic connections offering is really integrated and delivered through this edge experience via Lumen Edge Orchestrator. And what it's doing is we're providing less than 5 milliseconds of latency to over 97% of enterprises across the US. And that allows customers to scale up and down bandwidth as needed. That's what the nature of dynamic connections. And then the second component here is our managed services anywhere. And so our managed services includes monitoring, management, consulting, pro services, and anything that's deployed on the platform from edge to cloud. It's a huge piece of our business.
Awesome. So I really appreciate that overview. I just want to switch gears a little bit to maybe how the community can first learn some lessons, but before that, just understand, you guys have been pretty aggressive or very aggressive in your automation efforts. What sort of what sort of benefits have you seen? If people kind of go down this path, what sort of, we'll start with the benefits and then we'll get into maybe some of the challenges.
Right. So the innovation and pivots that Lumen's been making has had a great impact on our customers and employees, but it's also had a huge impact on our operating expense, as we've seen. You can look at, from an employee perspective, we've been able to broaden job scopes, reduce handoffs because we're taking a lot of manual work out of the process. But my team continues to focus and execute against this multi-year cost transformation plan. So over the last 3 years, we've taken out $1.3 billion of cost across operating and network expense. And that cost takeout hasn't slowed. In fact, if you look at our reductions in 2021, we've accelerated compared to those last 3 years that I just mentioned. So think about the enterprise teams, constantly trying to shift resources via automation and digital adoption from these legacy products over to our growth areas like fiber networks, edge and security, managed services. These are the areas where that we want to continue to drive the experience and drive our employees into this area, because our human capital is the most prized possession that we have. So the best story here is that this automation that we're doing, the fact that we've enabled the business to create this automation, is bringing a lot more people into this space. So we got network engineers, DevOps teams, software developers, everyone's gaining some benefit from this level of automation that we're doing. Our partnership with Itential has really improved our efficiencies, grown customer opportunities, extended our automation, and transformed our whole employee engagement model.
That's awesome. The community is always interested in lessons learned. What can you share about skills transformation, adopting automation as a kind of a first mindset within both network operations and engineering?
Yeah. Well, employee skills transformation has to occur, as we transform this customer and digital experience. So we created an Itential onboarding program to empower and educate our ops employees on how to utilize the platform. So this included not only the Itential software, but also training and retooling employees on other aspects of software and IT best practices. So historically, our teams have been network engineering focused. And while we needed to transform those skill sets with the platform, we looked at broader IT concepts that were required. So things like CI/CD, Jira, Docker, GitLab. So we're really investing in this skill set transformation and continuously improving the learning methodology and frequency to help upskill at the right pace. So one of the interesting things is, in our professional services area, we've had significant success with Itential implementation. So while we're good at automating our own network, we're also getting professional services opportunities to go out and help our enterprise customers implement Itential and automate their internal networks. So that's been a unintended consequence that we're really pleased about. So, seeing that kind of activity, customers adopting our APIs into their system such that Lumen can become part of their automated process, it's really amazing.
Awesome. So I'm looking at the clock. We're going to wrap up here. So I definitely wanted to say thanks, Richard. For everyone listening, appreciate you guys joining the keynote. If you have any questions or want to talk with myself or anybody on the team, please stop by our virtual booth. We have a number of sessions during the day, and definitely check out our POC. So thanks again for everybody. Thanks, Richard. Cheers, everyone.